Hello everyone, Dark Bandit 4 here. It's been one hell of a shitstorm for the folks over at CD Projekt Red due to the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. The game was released in a suboptimal state that was littered with technical and graphical bugs that caused character models to glitch out or clip into other objects. Bugs that cause set pieces such as vehicles to fall from the sky, bugs that cause missions from not completing or registering elements needed for progression, frequent crashing, and the list goes on and on. The worst part of all of this was the game's performance on the now last gen consoles, in particular the base versions of the PS4 and Xbox One. The game just wasn't playable and looked a mess when it was playing. Within the first week of release, CD Projekt Red released statements regarding the poor state of the game and has owned up to their mistakes, which is good, but at the same time, they should have seen this coming. But you know, greed speaks louder than common sense. Some of the developers have also voiced their frustration at the executives over at CD Projekt Red for not listening on delaying the game one last time. And lastly, Sony dropped a major bomb by flat out removing Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store and offering full refunds to gamers that purchased the game through the PlayStation Store, no questions asked. There's no word on when the game will return to the PlayStation Store, but I assume that the game will not return until most of the bugs and technical issues have been ironed out by CD Projekt Red. I would also like to note that Microsoft is offering refunds for Cyberpunk 2077. However, they're not taking a drastic step as Sony has, and they're still keeping the game on the Microsoft storefront. That was just a summary of the things that happened this past week involving Cyberpunk 2077. If you'd like more details on those stories, there are plenty of other people on YouTube covering this in better detail than I will. But if you would like to read articles based on the subject matter, links are in the description. Instead, I'd like to talk about my experience with Cyberpunk 2077. Technical issues and bugs aside, I'm really enjoying this game. For me, this game checks off a lot of boxes that makes me want to continue playing. Now, for reference, I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077 on a PlayStation 4 Pro that I purchased in 2018, so I cannot speak for those that are playing on base or launch day versions of the PS4. That said, I have run into a few glitches and bugs that left me with no choice but to reload an auto or quick save file. Remember everybody, if you're playing this game, quick save often. You find an item or a legendary item, whatever, quick save. Before a mission, quick save. Quick save, quick save. It will ease some of the frustrations. I've experienced user interface bugs and random minor bugs that I was able to fix with a simple setting tweak or quick save reload. There were even some bugs that wouldn't go away until I started another main mission or gig that had some sort of cutscene. Also, I've currently put 70 plus hours into the game and I'm nowhere near done completing the main story. And of those hours played, I've experienced about 10 to 12 hard crashes. I can deal with everything else, it's the crashes that are the most immersion breaking for me. On a side note, speaking of the hard crashes, they never occurred while I was in the middle of a mission. They usually occurred while I was driving or walking, running, and traversing building rooftops around Night City. Again, the hard crashes weren't as frequent in my experience as other gamers have noted in theirs. When the game is firing on all cylinders, it's amazing. I really enjoy the weapons and their variety, though I wish there were grenade launchers and rocket launchers. Currently, tech and smart weapons are my favorite. While I like to use the power weapons, mainly shotguns and the power revolvers for close quarters combat. In most games, I'm the all guns blazing type, but in Cyberpunk 2077, there are certain missions where the client or the fixer will need you to do things quietly and Mission Impossible-like, so stealth is key. Using stealth and quick hacks are surprisingly fun and satisfying in Cyberpunk 2077, and I find myself casing an entire building, turning off automated security such as cameras and turrets and so forth remotely, then silently taking out the bad guys on the perimeter and within the building via takedowns or quick hack. I've messed up a few times though. I'm not perfect, but I have messed up. And you know, when that happens, guns all blazing from that point. The leveling system was a bit confusing at first, but then it became easy to follow. I'm not going to go into this too much because it's one of those things that's easier seen than explained. My only issue is the level cap should have been higher than 50. And if you play the game and once you become accustomed to the leveling system, you will understand why I say it should be higher than 50. Crafting in this game is good and very useful too. You need ammo? Craft it. Need a new gun with better stats? Craft it. Need new clothing and mods? Craft it. Provided you have the crafting specs, the game's term for a blueprint, you could craft anytime as long as you're not in the middle of combat. Another thing regarding crafting, if you need material to craft something, you could disassemble weapons, clothing, and other items you're not going to use to receive materials in return. My only issue is there's no way to currently mass create or disassemble items, which forces you to do it one by one. This will be a great and welcome quality of life change in a future patch. Driving in this game is weird. Going down a straight road is one thing, but when it's time to make a left or right turn, that's when things get weird. I really don't know how to describe it, but it seems like there's an issue with the way the braking system was implemented in this game. While in a four-wheeled vehicle, making left or right turns are slow, and occasionally I wind up making wide turns, and I always end up hitting either a guardrail or a wall or a pole. However, I don't have this issue whenever I'm riding a motorcycle. I have much better control with motorcycles in general, and as such, I primarily drive motorcycles everywhere in Night City. It could be me, could be the type of vehicle I'm using, or a combination of both. I'll have to wait and see as I progress further into the game and get, more high-end vehicles. All in all, I will not be asking for a refund as I'm enjoying Cyberpunk 2077 and will continue to do so despite the technical issues, because for me, they're not game-breaking to the point where I can't play this game at all. CD Projekt Red is fully aware of the issues plaguing this game and are working hard to right their wrongs. CDPR have also released another hotfix as of yesterday, little under 24 hours ago, in hotfix version 1.05, and confirmed more updates are on their way via their official website and Twitter page, with 2 major updates announced due up in January and February of 2021, along with other hotfixes along the way. Again, just to be clear, these are my own experiences with the game, and in no way am I sipping for CDPR. I strongly agree that this game should have been delayed one more time to allow the developers to fully optimize Cyberpunk 2077 for the now last-gen consoles. I know the negative press for this game is not the fault of the developers, but rather of the suits executives and investors that decided to pull the trigger early out of greed. Bottom line, this shitstorm would've, could've, and should've been avoided at all costs. Well, that's all I really wanted to say on this topic. I know I try to keep it nice and short, but again, I'm really enjoying this game. Well, anyways, did you purchase Cyberpunk 2077? How was your experience so far? Are you requesting a refund? Let me know. Sound off in the comments, and please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Until next time.